All right, niggas know the vibes. We outside. Here with my boy Jack.
Yes, sir.
Fresh home.
Yeah, straight out of jail, baby.
Straight out of jail. Oh, a mugshot?
Yeah. Hey,
That's
we're
funny.
live on Party.
People, I guess, saw that I was on live stream with Jack Doherty. They took that opportunity to do some. My mom is 60 years old. Get no coupon for. I don't think nobody respects that.
The Island Boys are done out here, and the streets are buzzing like crazy right now. This new leaked footage just turned a simple home invasion story into a full-blown scandal that nobody saw coming. So here's the deal. Word just broke that the same dudes tied to the Island Boys allegedly rolled up into 6ix9ine's spot, and it got way more intense than anyone expected. Reports say they rushed into his crib, pressed his mother, and tore the whole place apart while she was stuck in the middle of it all. It's wild energy from every angle, and the internet is eating this story alive. Now listen to this because it gets even more twisted. Everybody already knew about that break-in at 6ix9ine's Florida mansion, right? 4 armed men hit the place while he was outside streaming with Jack Doherty, the same goofy kid he was joking around with online.
Let me do this. All right, come on, let's do it.
All right, so
Turn around. Now squat.
Oh, you did that? And then a bunch of Aggies shot out. I was like, no.
Oh, so you be goofing?
I was just kidding.
Nah, you ain't lying.
I had to give some to the homies
You be
in the paint.
goofing?
No,
I
no,
can't
no.
hold the gun.
Yeah.
He was outside yelling, "We outside! Held my boy Jack, fresh home," like everything was sweet. Meanwhile, his 60-year-old mom was inside facing danger at point-blank range. This situation is way deeper than anybody realized. But here's where the whole thing flips into straight chaos. New leaked footage just surfaced, and it's blowing the original story to pieces. The timing wasn't random at all. It was calculated. These dudes were watching 6ix9ine's live stream in real time. They waited until he walked out the door, saw his security roll with him, and knew his mom was alone. That's some planned out, strategic, military-style timing right there. This wasn't some sloppy hit. This was mapped out. And then, boom! TMZ drops an inside the house clip, and social media investigators went into full detective mode instantly.
Hey, stay out here. You're right.
People have been replaying every frame, zooming in, enhancing audio, breaking it down like it's some high-budget crime documentary, and what they caught is wild. In that leaked clip, you can clearly hear one of the robbers calling another one Red. Like straight up, he says it clear as day, and fans went crazy trying to match that voice with anybody tied to the Island Boys. The theories started flying, the screenshots started circulating, and now the whole situation is looking way more connected than anyone expected. This new detail just turned the whole case into a live fire investigation, and people are already pointing fingers, making lists, and dropping names like they're detectives on payroll. More footage is coming, more leaks are hitting the timeline, and this situation is about to get even uglier. Buckle up because the next piece of this saga is about to shake the internet again. Now listen to this because it gets even crazier. When people heard the name Red in that leaked clip, the internet instantly froze because Red isn't just some random nickname. That's literally tied to Kodiak Red, one half of the Island Boys duo that went viral for wild antics, wild hair, and wild behavior all over the internet. The connection was way too specific for social media to ignore, and the theories exploded instantly. But that's only the start, because the online detectives took this whole thing way beyond simple guesswork. Folks started breaking down every little detail about the robbers. How they walk, how they stand, how they tilt their shoulders, even how they move their hands when they talk. And the wild part is, the mannerisms people are pointing out look almost identical to the Island Boys' movements in their old videos. Let's break this down because fans are treating this like a full-blown crime lab investigation. The first thing people noticed was the walk. That signature swagger, that slight lean, that loose stance that Kodiak Red is always showing in clips. Fans started pulling up old music videos, TikTok posts, IG lives, anything they could find of the Island Boys walking around Miami, and they put it side by side with the robbery footage like it's a documentary breakdown. Some of these comparisons are wild because you can literally see people zooming in and slowing down the frames like it's professional forensic footage. Internet investigators even studied how the robber shifts his weight, how his shoulders move when he steps, and how his arms swing at his sides. And the crazy part is, fans claim Kodiak Red has that same exact rhythm in everything he posts. But it doesn't stop there, because the voice analysis might be the most dramatic part of all this. Even though the robbers were trying to mask their voices, fans swear they can still hear that distinct Florida accent, the same speaking pattern the Island Boys always use. The way certain words are pronounced, the way the tone rises at the end of sentences, the little slang slips. People are saying it matches too clean to ignore. So now social media is spinning like a tornado because the leaked audio has folks convinced they heard Red being called directly. And that tiny moment has turned into a massive investigation with freeze frames, side-by-side edits, slowed down audio, and breakdowns going viral by the minute. The slang they use, the tone, the little speech habits, everything is lining up in a way that's got the internet buzzing non-stop. One fan even claimed they ran the leaked audio through voice recognition software and said it came back with a 78% match to Kodiak Red's interview voice patterns. People are out here running full forensic labs in their bedrooms, and the receipts they're posting look wild. But now let's get into motive, because this is the part where the whole story starts connecting like puzzle pieces. The Island Boys, Frankie and Alex Vegas, haven't been living that viral superstar life for a long time now. Their money slowed up, their attention dried out, and the shine they had when they first blew up fizzled out fast. These dudes went from being everywhere online to barely getting traction on their posts anymore. Their music didn't take off the way they planned, the hype faded, and the cash streams that once kept them living flashy began shrinking quick. That fall from instant fame to almost forgotten has been rough to watch for some fans. At their peak, the Island Boys were reportedly pulling around $50,000 per appearance, walking into clubs like mini celebrities. But now, people say they're lucky if they book a small gig for a couple $1,000s, and sometimes not even that. Meanwhile, 6ix9ine is still online showing stacks, flashing luxury cars, and gifting his mom expensive rides like it's nothing. That type of comparison can create serious tension when you're already struggling. But here's where it gets even more intense. The financial pressure around them has been getting heavier and heavier. They've been dealing with multiple legal issues for a while, and those cases have been draining whatever money they had left. Lawyers, court fees, settlements, all of that hits hard, especially when your income isn't steady anymore. On top of that, their management reportedly cut ties with them after a string of controversies, leaving them without a team, without direction, and without real business support. No structure, no guaranteed bookings, no big deals lined up. That's a recipe for desperation when the bills keep stacking. So now picture this. Two guys who once had viral fame, fast money, and non-stop attention, suddenly scrambling to stay afloat while watching someone they know shine harder than ever. Mix in jealousy, pressure, frustration, and financial stress, and you get a situation where desperate choices start looking like the only choices. And when fans saw the leaked audio, the body language breaks, the voice clues, and the timing, a lot of people started saying the same thing. This whole situation suddenly makes way too much sense. 6ix9ine has been all over social media flexing his Florida mansion, exotic cars, bright jewelry, and piles of cash like it's a never-ending parade. He even gave his mother a Lamborghini and a whole $1 million in cash for her birthday, and that moment shook the internet. But for people who are out here struggling and watching someone else live like royalty while their own pockets get thin, that alone creates a heavy kind of tension. But here's the part that really hits the heart. The person who ended up caught in the middle of all this chaos was 6ix9ine's 60-year-old mother, a woman who stays out the way, doesn't speak much English, goes to church weekly, and just wants peace in her life. She had absolutely nothing to do with the drama around her son, yet she's the one who ended up facing danger in the most terrifying way possible. The leaked footage shows masked men taking this elderly woman outside the house while they tore the place apart inside, and the clip is heartbreaking to watch. Her hands are shaking, she looks confused, scared, overwhelmed, and she's clearly trying to make sense of something she never should have been dragged into. This is someone's mother, someone's grandmother, a peaceful woman, being traumatized because her son lives loud online. And here's what makes it even more painful. This isn't the first time she's been targeted. 6ix9ine has said before that people once tried to kidnap her while she was out walking her dog. Imagine being an older woman just trying to enjoy a simple moment with your pet, and strangers suddenly run up trying to snatch you. That kind of fear doesn't fade overnight. Now fast forward to this home invasion, where she's held at gunpoint in her own home, a place where she should feel safe. The psychological impact this must have on her is something nobody is talking about enough. 2 major threats, 2 moments of danger, and both connected to her son's high-profile lifestyle. That's a lot for anybody to endure. But here's where the story gets even crazier. These robbers knew exactly where 6ix9ine lived and exactly when to pull up. The drop was way too accurate. And honestly, 6ix9ine has been doing the most from his house lately, filming videos, giving long tours, and letting influencers record every corner of the property. He's shown YouTubers like Trap Lord Ross and Bubba 100 times around the entire place. On top of that, TMZ already exposed his address before, which means his location has been floating online for a while. When you mix that kind of visibility with a lifestyle that's constantly flashing high value, that's a situation where trouble can show up fast, and this time it landed right on his mother's doorstep in the most frightening way. And now people are wondering that how many more times can she be put in danger before someone steps in and changes the way things are handled? Because at this point, the risk is way too real, and this footage proves it loud and clear. When the feds raided his place back in March, it already showed how exposed 6ix9ine was. And ever since then, he's been making himself an easy target without even realizing it. Those house tours he keeps showing off online are basically a full blueprint for anybody with bad intentions. He's revealing where his cars sit, where his studio is, how the hallways connect, and even spots around the house where the cameras don't catch everything. Trap Lord Ross literally pulled up to the mansion in a bright green Lamborghini and filmed the entire exterior, front to back, with every angle wide open on YouTube for millions to watch. That clip has been circulating for months, giving people a complete map of the property, and it's still sitting online for anyone to rewind and study. And on top of all that, 6ix9ine kept bragging about moving around without security, almost like he wanted everyone to believe he was untouchable. On one of his live streams, he even said, "I go everywhere by myself. The streets is a lie. They not gangsters." That quote is coming back to haunt him now because while he was outside trying to prove how fearless he is, his own mother was facing a terrifying moment inside her home. But what people are doing online right now is wild because fans have basically turned into investigators overnight. They're comparing the robbers' walking patterns, audio clips, posture, and even the build of the figures in the leaked footage and matching all of it to the Island Boys' physical traits. Some of these threads look more detailed than what official investigators post publicly, and the breakdowns are getting more convincing by the hour. One viral Twitter thread shows side-by-side frames of how the Island Boys stand in their music videos versus how the robbers stand in the leaked security footage, and the similarities are shocking to look at. The way the robbers hold their hands, the slight tilt of the head, the relaxed shoulder position, it mirrors the Island Boys almost perfectly. Even the way they move when they talk has people convinced there's a connection. Fans are slowing the footage down to 0.25 speed and comparing tiny body language details that most people wouldn't even notice. But the piece of evidence that has social media spinning the hardest is the jewelry analysis. In the footage, one of the masked men is wearing a chain that looks extremely similar to a distinctive piece Kodiak Red has been seen wearing in multiple videos and photos. The shape, the shine, the pendant, fans say it matches way too closely to ignore. Now the conversation online is shifting fast because people feel like they're piecing together a puzzle that was hiding in plain sight. And if the next leaked clip drops the way folks expect, this whole case is about to get even more explosive. In some of their recent Instagram posts, Kodiak Red was seen rocking a custom chain with engraving so unique that duplicating it would be nearly impossible. And in the leaked robbery footage, you can see that exact same style of chain peeking out from under the robber's hoodie. The shape, the shine, the detailing, all matching perfectly with pictures of Kodiak taken just weeks before the break-in. That tiny glimpse is fueling even more suspicion online. But here's another strange twist. Both Island Boys suddenly went silent on social media right around the time the robbery happened. These are dudes who usually post multiple times a day, non-stop. For them to vanish from Instagram, TikTok, and every other platform all at once? Fans noticed immediately. and the timing had people raising eyebrows fast. Their last post before going dark showed them in Miami, which is only about an hour from 6ix9ine's mansion in Palm Beach. That detail alone made the internet start connecting dots even faster, because the location lines up just a little too perfectly for comfort. And from what fans are saying, the silence combined with the timing is not a coincidence. The getaway car adds even more fuel to the mystery. Witnesses reported seeing a white sedan speeding away from the scene, and internet detectives quickly pulled up old Instagram stories showing the Island Boys riding in a similar white sedan just days before the robbery. The license plates aren't visible in either clip, but the make and model look almost identical. Fans are convinced there's something there, but let's keep it honest. Everything right now is still speculation. Until official confirmation drops, none of this is solid evidence. Still, the details people are stacking together are getting harder to brush off. You've got the voice calling out red, the body language matchups, the financial tension, the timing, the jewelry, the car, and the sudden social media silence, all forming a picture that looks clearer the more fans dig. What makes this whole situation even more messed up is that 6ix9ine can't even protect himself the way most celebrities can.
What's up? So I want to make this video to clear up all the fake news and rumors. So the world knows this. It's a fact. I'm on house arrest. I've been on house arrest. I think everyone in America and everyone across the world knows that I'm on house arrest. Yesterday, they allowed me to leave for work. People, I guess, saw that I was on live stream with Jack Doherty. They took that opportunity to do some. Like I said, it's me, so I get it. The rules are different for me. But if it was your favorite artist, your favorite actor, and that was done, they don't get no cool points for that. My mom is 60 years old. Y'all know I'm supposed to come home. Y'all know I'm home all the time. I'm on house arrest. So y'all take the opportunity that I'm not home. Y'all see me on live stream with Jack Doherty in Miami, and y'all do that. That's whack. Get no cool points for that. I don't think nobody respects that.
He explained in multiple interviews that because of his legal situation, he's not allowed to hire armed security. He can't roll with people carrying weapons, and he can't move the way he used to before his legal troubles. So think about that. He's living in a massive mansion, showing off expensive cars, holding stacks of cash on camera, and moving like everything is safe. But legally, he can't have the type of protection his lifestyle actually requires. That means he ends up being a high-value target, but with low-level security options. The restriction on his supervised release are heavy. He has to get permission to travel. He can't associate with known criminals, and he can't set up certain types of security around his home. So even if he wanted full protection for himself and his family, the rules straight up won't allow it. And that's why this entire situation feels even more dangerous. He's living loud, but he's not allowed to protect himself loud. It's a setup for trouble, and this home invasion showed exactly how risky that mix truly is. This whole situation put 6ix9ine in a dangerous position. He's extremely visible. He's clearly wealthy, but he can't use the same security measures other celebrities rely on. That mix makes him a walking target, and everyone around him ends up exposed too. And the fact that his mother has now been victimized twice, once during that attempted kidnapping while she was simply walking her dog, and now during this home invasion, shows just how risky his lifestyle has become for the people closest to him. This woman should never have to deal with trauma because of her son's choices, yet here she is facing danger again. If it really turns out that the Island Boys were involved, that makes the whole situation even more heartbreaking. These are guys who had a viral moment, had a platform, and had the chance to build something legitimate. But instead, they allegedly crossed the line by targeting an elderly woman for fast cash. That fall from being viral stars to being tied to a robbery is shocking to even think about. Law enforcement is now analyzing the leaked footage, and with social media detectives pointing toward the Island Boys, it might not be long before official updates drop. The internet has already dug deep into every angle, movement patterns, audio clues, jewelry matches, car sightings, basically doing half the investigative groundwork that police usually have to start from scratch. And the crazy part is, agencies are starting to pay attention because these crowdsourced breakdowns sometimes reveal things traditional investigators miss. What makes the entire event even more unbelievable is how perfectly the timing lined up with 6ix9ine's live stream. These robbers weren't guessing. They were literally watching his stream in real time, studying his movements like a playbook. They saw when he stepped out, they saw security walk with him, and they knew exactly when his mom was alone. That level of precision shows this wasn't random at all. This was targeted, strategic, and carefully planned. The kind of move you only make when you're watching your target minute by minute. The streaming aspect adds a whole new layer to the danger because every time 6ix9ine goes live, he's basically giving potential criminals a live update about where he is, who he's with, and whether his home is protected or not. He's unintentionally feeding real-time intel to anyone keeping an eye on him. Every live stream becomes a roadmap, and this incident proves how risky that can be. When people know your exact location the moment you leave your house and they know security's gone with you, the window for danger opens instantly. And this time, the people who paid the price weren't even the ones on the screen. It was his mother, scared and alone, facing something she never should have been forced into. This situation is bigger than drama. It's a wake-up call showing just how dangerous visibility can become when it mixes with limited protection and public live streams. He's basically telling the whole world he's not at home, which makes his mansion look wide open to anybody paying attention. That's a dangerous move for someone with his level of visibility, because the wrong people can take that information and run with it fast. And if the Island Boys really had anything to do with this, then they definitely picked the wrong target, because 6ix9ine supporters might argue with him sometimes. But when something serious hits his family, they move like a full investigation squad. His fan base is now online, digging through clips, comparing footage, analyzing voices, and collecting every tiny detail like they're building a whole case by themselves. And the wild part is, social media investigators don't sleep. Once they lock on to something, the information spreads in seconds, not days. Criminals never really understand how powerful online detectives are until they see their names trending with evidence attached. This situation is still developing, and the impact goes far beyond just one robbery. What we're seeing right now is the dark side of internet fame. How being famous online can open doors for opportunity, but also open windows for danger at the same time. We're watching how financial struggles can push people into extreme decisions and how the internet becomes a tool for justice when things get too messy for traditional investigators to keep up with. The bigger conversation here is about the responsibility that comes with flashing your lifestyle on the internet. When you're constantly posting your cars, your jewelry, your cash, and every new luxury you buy, you're not just entertaining your supporters, you're also broadcasting your value to anyone with bad intentions. And while 6ix9ine's situation is extreme, it still serves as a serious warning for anyone living publicly online. The evidence keeps piling up, new details keep dropping, and now insiders are saying law enforcement is getting close to making arrests. This means the situation is heating up fast, and the final pieces of this puzzle might be revealed sooner than anyone expected. This isn't just drama anymore. This is turning into a major turning point in the story. At this point, the situation isn't just a wild headline. It's a full-blown saga that shows how fast a flashy lifestyle can flip into real-world danger. And with every new leak, every new clue, and every new breakdown from online investigators, the picture keeps getting clearer and the pressure keeps getting heavier. This is no longer about just a robbery. It's about reputation, desperation, and the consequences that come when the internet refuses to look away. If the Island Boys really had a hand in this, then everything they built, everything they chased, and everything they bragged about just collapsed in the most shocking way. Going from viral fame to facing accusations of targeting an elderly woman, that's a fall so steep it barely feels real. And the closer law enforcement gets to confirming the truth, the more this whole thing starts looking like the biggest scandal they've ever been tied to. But here's the part that hits the hardest. The internet is watching all of it in real time. Every move, every rumor, every clip, every detail. And in today's world, once the internet locks onto something, the story doesn't fade, it explodes. This moment is going to follow everyone involved forever, no matter how it ends. And trust this, the ending is coming fast. Investigators are closing in, the leaks aren't stopping, and someone is about to face the consequences of a plan that never should have happened in the first place. The next update could flip the whole narrative again, and when that moment hits, you already know BarzBuzz is going to break it down with every detail you need. So stay locked in with BarzBuzz, because this saga is far from over, and the next chapter might be the wildest one yet. If this saga had you shook, wait till you see what's next. You already know what it is out. BarzBuzz got the real, raw, and unfiltered breakdowns. So don't forget to like, subscribe, drop a comment, and share this with someone who needs to catch up.